Welcome back to the Theater of the Mind, the sanctuary where we dissect the art of storytelling and the reality that bleeds through the cracks of fiction. You have tuned into Whatever You Need, the only digital destination that refuses to separate the actor from the role, the scandal from the script. Today, we are not just talking about a new series, we are talking about a psychological earthquake that is about to hit Netflix. We are peeling back the layers of Games of Passion. Or as it is known in the corridors of Istanbul, Tutku Oyunları, a project so intense it has allegedly left its lead actress shaking after the director yells "cut." We are diving into the mind of Elçin Sangu, the provocations of Melis Sezen, and the tortured duality of Ozan Dolyane. If you love stories that disturb as much as they entertain, you are home. Before we step into this gallery of deception, ensure you have subscribed to our channel. To support our deep dive analysis and get access to exclusive content, the join button is your key to the inner circle. Your likes are the applause in our theater, and your comments are the reviews we live for. Now, let's unlock the doors to the house where everyone is lying. In the world of entertainment, promotional interviews are usually rehearsed, sterile affairs. Actors smile, they praise the script, they compliment their co-stars. But every once in a while, a statement is made that cuts through the PR noise like a jagged knife. Elçin Sangu, a woman known for her poise, recently dropped a sentence that has become a headline sensation, a slogan, and perhaps a warning. Speaking about her role in the upcoming Netflix thriller, Games of Passion, she declared, "An unfaithful person is cheated on." This is not just a catchy soundbite. It is a philosophy. It is a window into a worldview that suggests betrayal is a boomerang. That the act of cheating fractures the cheater just as much as the victim. Her sharp, almost visceral comments about infidelity have opened a shocking perspective not just on the series, but on her own psychology. "Being cheated on is my biggest fear in real life," she confessed, her voice reportedly trembling with a raw authenticity that silenced the room. "The moment I realize I've been cheated on, it's over. I can never be the same person I was before. It doesn't matter who it is. My best friend, my partner." These words were debated for days across the tabloid press and social media forums, resonating with thousands of women who saw their own fears reflected in hers. But for us, the analysts of Whatever You Need, this statement serves a different purpose. It is the key to understanding her character, Funda. In Games of Passion, Elçin plays a successful painter, a woman who creates beauty on canvas while her own life turns ugly. Funda is outwardly strong, the pillar of her family, but inwardly, she is a structure on the verge of collapse. She intuits a shift in her husband's frequency, a change in the air, but she is terrified to name it. Sangu's real-life admission that she runs from the shadow of deception mirrors Funda's journey perfectly. Funda is running from her own inner voice, terrified that acknowledging the cracks will bring the house down. This parallel suggests that what we will see on screen is not just acting, it is channeling. Reports from the set indicate that Sangu is so emotionally charged in certain scenes that she cannot simply shake off the role when the cameras stop. She has reportedly broken down in tears multiple times, specifically after filming the moments where Funda discovers the betrayal. This is not method acting, this is emotional bleeding. It is a testament to the series' crushing psychological depth. The architecture of this disaster is built on three pillars. We have Funda, the artist living in denial. We have Ilker, played by the charismatic Ozan Dolyane, a man who is a puzzle even to himself. And then we have the catalyst, Nazlı, played by Melis Sezen. Let's talk about Nazlı. On paper she is the nanny, a cliché as old as time. But Games of Passion is not a cliché, it is a deconstruction. Nazlı enters the house ostensibly to care for the child, but the audience soon realizes she is there to dismantle the parents. Melis Sezen, returning to the screen after her phenomenal success as the other woman, Darren in Sada Cat's Eyes, is stepping into territory that is darker, grittier, and more manipulative. Nazlı is a character constructed of emotional vulnerabilities, addictions, and a terrifying ability to manipulate reality. She is not just a temptress. She is a mirror reflecting the family's darkest voids back at them. The buzz surrounding Melis Sezen's performance is already electric. Filming staff have described her portrayal as disturbingly realistic. There are whispers from the set that the manipulative tone she adopts for Nazli is so potent that it occasionally creates genuine tension among the crew. In a fascinating glimpse into her process, Sezen reportedly has to physically distance herself from the character between takes, taking minutes of silence to exorcise Nazli before she can speak to her castmates as herself again. This intense internal conflict, this commitment to method acting, contributes to a set atmosphere that is thick with unspoken anxiety, an anxiety that translates perfectly to the screen. And caught between these two powerful female forces is İlker. Ozan Dalyanay has the difficult task of playing a man who is easy to hate, but necessary to understand. İlker appears to have it all. He is artistic, calm, charismatic. But inside, he is a man trapped in a silent scream. He struggles to express himself, leading to an emotional turmoil that eventually finds its release in the worst possible way, infidelity. Dalyanay has stated in interviews that he prepared intensely for this role, refusing to play İlker as a simple villain driven by lust. Instead, he portrays him as a man shaped by the fractures of his past. His bond with Nazli isn't just about sex, it's about being seen by someone who understands his brokenness. The director, Mert Baykal, has reportedly pushed Dalyanay to his emotional limits, seeking a level of intensity that leaves the actor deeply affected by certain scenes. This shared trauma among the cast is the secret ingredient that promises to elevate the series from a drama to a tragedy. Segment 6. Audience Interaction, the Psychology of Cheating. I want to pause here and ask you, the whatever you need community, a difficult question. Elçin Sangu says an unfaithful person is cheated on. Do you agree with this? Do you believe that the person who cheats loses a part of themselves in the process? Or is that just a poetic way to comfort the victim? Furthermore, are you ready to see Melis Sezen play the other woman again, or do you think she risks being typecast? I want to read your deepest thoughts on loyalty and casting in the comments below. The production dynamics of Games of Passion are as intriguing as the plot. Produced by PD Yapım with a heavy investment from Netflix, the visual language of the series is designed to be a character in itself. The set design is not merely background, it is psychology made physical. Funda's studio, the sanctuary of the artist, required days of preparation. It draws inspiration from European art galleries, filled with original artworks modeled to reflect her mental state. In stark contrast, Nazli's room is designed to be simpler, darker, and colder, a visual representation of the void she carries inside. The lighting in İlker's office and the family living room is dramatic, often casting long shadows that obscure half the face, symbolizing the duality of the characters. This attention to spatial design means that every frame is telling you a secret, if you know where to look. Naturally, the combination of Elçin Sangu and Melis Sezen, two powerhouse actresses with strikingly different energies, has generated considerable interest in the tabloid press. Rumors of competition and on-set rivalry have floated through the gossip columns. However, production staff vehemently deny these claims. They describe the relationship not as a close friendship, but as a reserved and respectful working environment. This distance is actually a strategic advantage. Funda and Nazli are not friends, they are enemies engaged in a silent war. The lack of cozy, off-screen intimacy between the actresses helps preserve the tension when the cameras roll. It allows the suspicion in Funda's eyes and the guilt in Nazli's eyes to remain sharp and unblurred by personal affection. Why is there so much buzz? Because Games of Passion is refusing to be just another story about a cheating husband. It is positioning itself as a multidimensional structure. We are looking at themes of psychological manipulation, power struggles, class conflicts between the employer and the domestic worker, silent domestic violence, and obsessive behavior. Netflix is reportedly planning to categorize the series as a dark psychological drama, a label that signals a move away from melodrama and towards something more prestigious and international. Given the global explosion of Turkish content, this series is poised to be the next big export. The unraveling of Nazli's secret past, her hidden ties to both Funda and İlker, promises to turn the story into a puzzle box that gets darker with every episode. Netflix is playing a dangerous game with the release date. It is claimed that the platform is strategically keeping the premiere a secret, fueling the hype machine with uncertainty. Some sources suggest a surprise drop very soon, while others warn of delays due to the global release schedule. What we do know is that the post-production process is being handled with obsessive care. The color grading, the dramatic lighting, the score, everything is being polished to perfection. Games of Passion is not just a series, it is a career-defining test for its 3 leads. It is a challenge to the Turkish public's appetite for psychological darkness. Elçin Sangu's words, "An unfaithful person is cheated on," will likely remain etched in our memories long after the credits roll. They serve as the slogan for a show that asks, who is really the victim when a marriage breaks? The one who is lied to, or the one who has to live the lie? We will be watching the shadows of this series closely. As soon as a release date drops or a trailer surfaces, you will see it analyzed here first. If this deep dive into the darker side of love and art fascinated you, please hit that like button. It helps us paint a clearer picture for the algorithm. Subscribe to whatever you need and ring the bell so you don't miss the premiere of our next investigation. And for those who want to support independent, high-quality storytelling, the join button is waiting. Thank you for watching, and remember, in the game of passion, there are no winners, only survivors. Until next time.